Welcome back, friends. My name is Luisana and I am here once again with another video for Possum Stamps. Today I am bringing you this super cute card made with two of the stamp sets from previous releases. I chose to go with this Happy Camper stamp set and also the Playful Pandas. I felt inspired to play with both of these sets to make one card. We are going to be doing a little bit of ink blending, and I am going to show you a really neat trick or hack that I just discovered by a friend. And I am going to be making a night scene, and that is actually my favorite thing to color blend. Using a gel printing plate right here. I am going to use that to hold on to my paper, and I am using 120-pound cardstock from Amazon. And I am just using my brushes to go from my darkest color to my lightest, and this does take a few layers. So slowly but surely, I believe I used chipped sapphire, priced ribbon, and salty ocean. And then I have a black, just a regular black dye ink that I applied during the second layer. And all of these are inks, they're not oxides, by the way. So, yeah, slowly I apply lots of layers. And during the second layer, I start with my black because I want the top to look a little bit darker. And then on top of that black, I go back with the previous colors that I had already used. So, and the reason why I'm not coloring the bottom part of that cardstock right here, it's because I am going to do a small piece of paper that I am going to be ink blending in green. I could have masked that area and then ink blended the whole thing all together, but I don't know, I didn't feel like doing that today. I felt like it would be easier, less complicated, to just do two pieces and then glue everything together in the end. And then we have right here the sky portion of the background. Next up, we're going to do the grass, and I am using pine needles, forest moss, and rustic wilderness, and once again a little bit of black. And I have switched my brushes to my green combos, and I'm starting once again with my darkest on the top and then moving on to the medium tone to the middle part and the lightest tone towards the bottom. And then during the second layer, I apply my black, and I actually like this technique quite a bit because it was I didn't have to deal with the hassle of using masking tape to cover up the sections of the paper that I didn't want to get inked. So I might just have to do this again. You will notice that the gel printing plate that I am using works really good at holding on to my paper. So I don't have to use tape, I don't have to use any kind of adhesive to hold on to that cardstock while I am ink blending. I chose to go with the tree from the Happy Camper stamp set and the cute little panda that is laying forward. I'm not really sure how to explain what he's doing, but I stamped them both using Copic Safe inks. I believe this one is by Ink on 3. And I decided that I wanted to just get all of the stamping done at once, so I stamped the sentiment as well. And now I am going to proceed to do some Copic coloring. This is going to look really messy to begin with, and probably by the end as well, but I wanted to do a lot of dotting for the green portion of the tree, but we'll get there in just a minute. I started with E49 for my darkest tone and then moved on to E59, and I am trying really hard to have my camera pointed so that it doesn't focus on my hands. Hopefully it's not blurry like it was the last time. I am trying, you guys, I really am. Alright, so E49, then E59, and my lightest tone is going to be E34, and that's what I'm going to use to blend all of it together. And I am going to be doing 2 layers. You will notice that I am coloring outside the lines, like a lot. And the reason for that, I mean, not that it's any different than any other time, but this time it doesn't really matter too much because I am going to be fussy cutting this tree out. So I let myself be as messy as I wanted to. And yeah, just colored everything freely. I did make quite a bit of a mess with the cute little panda bear, but we fixed it. Alright, that's the last color for the tree trunk, and now I'm moving on to my greens for the top portion of the tree. Oh my gosh. In retrospect, I would not use BG99 again if I was to color these again. I don't like that tone, but you know what? I was committed at this point. So I ended up going with 4 colors of greens. BG99, G28, which I like a lot better than the other one. Then I moved on to YG17, and I am just dotting. Dot, 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 dot. The first layer just doesn't look very good. But I think after I did the second coat of all of the colors, I pulled it off. I hope. Alright, G14 is what I am using to kind of fill in the rest of the gaps. Now we're going to go back with the second layer, and I am being a lot more careful this time. And instead of applying super like thick dots of all of the colors, I am doing smaller and more sparse dottings everywhere. I'm still leaving a lot of space in between them, and with each lighter tone that I apply, I am filling in more and more of that portion of the coloring that I am trying to cover. So it is, I believe it's definitely starting to look like a tree now. I like that texture, and just taking my time, you know, making it look as if it has dark spots, lighter spots, you know, just like a real tree would. Mind you, I am not really going for realism right now because it is a cute cartoonish image. So, okay, moving on to the panda. One thing that I kept in mind as I was getting ready to color him or her was that it is a nighttime scene, so of course all of the colors are going to look a little bit more saturated, more, what's the word, dark. So I did color him in a, I mean, it looks pretty gray, right? But I don't think it's going to look that dark once everything is put together. So just trust your instincts here. Alright, so now I'm doing the darker parts of, you know, his coloring. And that's the part where I messed up, like a lot. I'm not, yeah, I'm not even surprised. But I was able to fix it using my colorless blender. Yeah, I color outside the lines right there, and I think it was the eye portion that I messed up the most. But thankfully, oh, and a little bit of the nose right there, yeah. Ah, that's where it all began. C9, C7. Oh my goodness, that right eye looks terrible. We are going to fix it, so I guess we'll call this a teaching moment. So here I have my colorless blender, and I'm just very, very, very carefully just dabbing on those areas, pushing that darker tone back in. I have forgot to do the nose. Yeah, it looks good. And now look at this magic. Ta-da! It's fussy cut, but I don't like the edges, so we are going to use C7 to just color the outlines so that it looks more, I don't know, more finished. So this is just an extra step that you can skip if you want. I do think that it adds a little bit more of that finished touch to your project. So yeah, I am happy that I did that. Alright, here I am adhering both of my background blending background things I did. And I am going to be gluing my pieces onto it. I decided to trim my background to be 4 inches by 5 and a quarter. Yes, sorry, that took a minute, because I wanted to place it onto a base that was 4 and a quarter by 5.5, and that way it will give me a little bit of a white border, which I always enjoy. So look how cute he is. And then I'm gonna place that miss you right there under him towards the right. And after I was done adhering all of my pieces, I felt like something was needed, so you're about to see that in just a second. Now I am going to glue that panel to my card base, and I just eyeballed it, you guys. I know that there are like little acrylic corners that you can use to make your placement of your mats very precise. I don't like to, I mean, I do make my life difficult every now and then, but not for that. So I added a little bit of embellishments in the form of, they're like sequin stars, and I felt like that just finished the whole look of it. And that is all for me today. I really, really love this card. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you can give your stamp sets a shot and, you know, play with 2 sets that you might not think go together. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Thank you, everybody. Bye.